Hey, what's up? I'm the Cartoon-theorist YT, back at it again. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, aka Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, had its first look released 4 months ago. We have our first look at what is part 1 of this amazing sequel, which is scheduled to release October 7th, 2022. From the first look alone, I'm already hyped. More stuff will come, but from what we've seen, the movie doesn't feel like some cheap sequel. I'm ready to break this down piece by piece for you all. With that said, let's enter the Spider-Verse. We open up from where we left off in the last movie. He's listening to Sunflower by Post Malone. Wait, no. It's 1 or 2 years after the movie. Miles looks older. Maybe it could be because of his bulkier physique. From the producers, when asked about what Miles has been up to since the first Spider-Verse, their response was, he's been trying to step into big shoes, realizing it's not so easy to juggle family and growing as a Spider-Person, and that it's lonely hiding the truth about yourself from the people you love. Speaking of growing, his costume has changed. More on that later. Now, when the portal opens up, we see a comic book of Miles. If you don't remember, these comics in the last movie were used to explain characters' backstories. In the comic, Miles is in his previous costume. It says, True Life Tales of Spider-Man, Save the Multiverse, Now What? True Life Tales is a reference to Amazing Fantasy. Amazing Fantasy issue 15 was the first comic Spider-Man debuted on. The comic says it's made by Stanford Green, who is a longtime comic artist known for many Miles Morales illustrations. Gwen Stacy, voiced by Haley Steinfeld, who plays Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye Disney Plus show, looks down at Miles from the many hexagons. This is how Gwen and other people will be going to other universes. Interestingly, Miles is launched through the hexagons, but she can stand on them. When Gwen jumps down, you can see photos of Miles and his Uncle Aaron. In Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Uncle Aaron was the Prowler. Unless we enter a universe with another Prowler, it would be unlikely he would show up in the movie. The other way I could see him in the movie is through flashbacks. Miles is embarrassed of Gwen being in his room. He gets rid of his action figures. One of these action figures is a Megazord. This is a hint to one of the Spider-Man that we could see in the movie, the Japanese Spider-Man. This Spider-Man is far different from the one we love. For example, he uses guns and mechs. Gwen is wearing the multiverse hopping bracelet. This means she is on Miguel's team and is trying to recruit Miles. Miguel O'Hara is a Spider-Man from 2099, after a war between mutants and humans. He has a cape. Gwen grabs one of Miles' sketchbooks to find a picture of herself. If you don't remember, in the last movie, Miles has a bit of a crush on Gwen. There are 5 stars around Gwen. There is also 6 orange dots. 5 stars plus 1, that being Gwen, equals 6. This is a reference for the last movie where there were 6 Spider-Men, not including the Spider-Man we saw at the beginning of the movie. There is the bus ticket Miles and Peter B. Parker used. Up on the last corner, there is someone who they're trying to hide the face of. It could be someone Miles is trying to catch, or a picture, or of someone we'll see later in this movie. On Miles' shelf, there are Power Rangers and the Spider-Man car. Miles tries to make the excuse of him being grounded so he doesn't have to go. I think this might be because he might have stopped being Spider-Man. This is hinted by the comic we see in Miles' room. After saving the multiverse, he might not want to be Spider-Man anymore. Gwen convinces Miles to go with her by saying Miles may be grounded, but Spider-Man is not. We cut to Spider-Man flying through the hexagons into another universe. This reminds me of what has been shown in the Buzz Lightyear trailer. When slowed down, you're able to see glitching surrounding Miles, and there's a square behind him, not a hexagon. He flies fine at first. When he looks right into the camera, his eyes open wide. This could be a sign Miles has done this before, but something went wrong this time, and his spider sense is picking up on that. Miles starts losing control. As you can tell, Miles does not have a portal bracelet. I can see his new costume. It has no web lines. I honestly love the costume. Miles changes from 3D to 2D. Miles' fall is well choreographed. He fell into a building and pushed himself off. He gets wrapped in cable and then is slingshot forward. Then he gets control over his swinging. I love how, just like with the previous movie, the camera keeps moving whether or not Miles can keep up. All the words are in Hindi, which could be foreshadowing for Miles Morales meeting Spider-Man India in the movie. Miguel launches from a portal at Miles. Miles tries to escape. When Miles and Miguel go to another universe, Miguel's watch says 9:28, which is Miguel's dimension. Miguel's webs remind me of Zod's lasers. It seems his goal is not to hurt Miles, but rather restrain him. There will be a video on that, but what did you guys think of the first look? Let me know in the comments down below. It's good to be back. I got more videos on the way, and more talk about my show. With that said, stay tuned.